Morning, gang. It's Friday, the 8th of February 2019. Welcome to a rather dark and windy United Kingdom talk today. I'm looking out the window at the moment. It is windy. There's not much sunshine. Very dark this morning. And it was windy as well last night. I had the most terrible sleeping last night. I don't know why. I have no idea. I had terrible trouble sleeping last night. And it's not like I'm worried about anything or uncomfortable in the bed or anything like that. Or, I mean, I don't know, maybe I just went to bed a little bit too early. It was about 11:30 time I went to bed last night. I did notice, my mate came round last night and we watched the most lovely film on Netflix. Got a couple of recommendations, actually, for Netflix films. Those of you that don't have Netflix, I mean, I'm not being paid by Netflix or anything else like that. But it really is worth it. It's £10 a month. And I think that's for the high definition ones. We've got the high definition one. And I think it's £10 a month. I think there's one cheaper than that if you're not bothered about the crisp picture. But the quality of the picture on some of these programs and films has to be seen to be believed. In particular, when you've got nature type things. And the film we watched last night was a film called Eddie, E-D-I-E, and it stars one of my favourite actresses of all time, Sheila Hancock, and a young lad called Kevin Gurry, who I kind of recognise him. I don't know what from, but those are the two main characters. So she is playing kind of herself, an elderly lady, and he's playing a young lad, and she has a hard time looking after her husband, who had something went wrong, and for 30 years he couldn't walk or eat or sleep, and walk or eat, and she had to look after him, done all the feeding and all that business, and he dies, and she decides that she wants to climb up a Scottish mountain. Okay, so she goes all the way to Scotland, meets this guy accidentally, actually, and he takes her. It is the most beautiful, charming, warm film. I love films like that. So if you want something to watch at the weekend, please watch it. The scenery is outstanding. You know, when I go up to the caravan in Lincolnshire, I always marvel at the countryside around me. And to me, that is the countryside. It's like when I moved to Bracknell. I moved from Wandsworth in London to Bracknell. Well, I thought this was the countryside. You know, so what's that sticking in my leg? Oh, my God. It's the buttons and the pin on a new shirt. Look at that. It was just sticking in my leg. I could have bled to death. No one would be bothered, would they? No one's bothered. No one's bothered. When I moved from Wandsworth to Bracknell, I thought this was the countryside because I'm surrounded by trees and all that, but there's lots of other houses. Then I moved to Lincolnshire, or I've got a caravan in Lincolnshire. To me, that's the countryside, surrounded by fields. And then you see on the film like Eddie, or is it Edie or Eddie? E-D-I-E. You see the Scottish Highlands. There can't be many places on this earth that are as beautiful as the Scottish Highlands. Just a few little houses dotted, and houses kind of on the sea are just stunning. So please, please, if you like warm films, watch that. Of course, there are little bits in it where things go wrong for Sheila Hancock, but watch it. It's lovely. Fantastic ending as well. The film is called Eddie, and it's now available on Netflix, all right? Another film that I watched, I can't remember if I mentioned this to you or not. I think I did mention it to you yesterday, is a film called Lion, okay? Also on Netflix, which I've been watching over a couple of days. I've finished it now. Fantastic ending. And this film is about a little Indian boy, and they're very poor, and he helps his mother carrying rocks. That's what he does. Anyway, his brother decides that they need to go and look for work. So they go to this train station, which is in, somewhere in India. the older brother tells him to wait on the bench, and he waits on the bench, and eventually he goes to sleep on this bench. He wakes up and it's night time, and he's looking around for his brother, and he can't find him anywhere. His brother told him to wait on the bench and not to move, but you know how it is. Little boy gets up and starts wandering around looking for his brother, finds an empty train eventually, gets on the train, looks around up and down the carriages for this train. Eventually he sits down, falls asleep, and then he wakes up and the train is gone. The train has taken off with him in it. And he can't get off it. All the doors are locked. He's banging on these doors. Eventually he gets off 2 days later and has no idea where he is. And I won't tell you any more of the story, otherwise it'll spoil it all. But again, that has the most wonderful ending. Please watch that one as well. The film is called Lion, Lion, Lion. And when you get to the ending, okay, words will come up. Do not stop watching at that point, okay? Keep watching the film. And it is the most beautiful ending, it really is. So 2 things there for you to watch on Netflix. You may remember last week I was watching a wartime type film, again on Netflix, about these Polish war people who came over here to help us fight in flying the planes and all that. Couldn't remember the name of it. I found it now. Hurricane. So 3 films there for you to watch. All very, very different. Edie, the one of the old lady climbing a Scottish mountain. Lion, the little Indian boy who gets lost. And Hurricane, which is about the RAF, the Polish people that helped us big time in one of the wars. Okay, righto, let's say hello to some of you this morning. First message of the day comes in from Mr. Mark Jones. Good morning to you, Mark. Morning, Mark. Gustav is in the house. Good morning, Gustav. He sent me a link which I'll have a look later. Once I've started, I can't really look at videos and things like that, Gustav. Pictures, yes, but videos. But he says the opening of it is very similar to mine, so I look forward to seeing that. Thank you, Gustav. I'll look for that afterwards. Ants Galloway. Good morning, Ants. Ants is in the house. Saw you at the weekend. Are you coming in this weekend? What's the cabaret tomorrow? Tomorrow night's cabaret. I can't remember who it is now. I can't remember what the cabaret is tomorrow down the pub. Never mind. Katie Ann Patterson. Good morning, Katie Ann. Mr. Ray Reynolds is in the house. Morning, Ray. Diane Jebb, hello to you. Can I just say I love the opening video. It's always great to see suburbia, and it reminds me of an old advert Telly Savalas did for Birmingham. This is nothing like Birmingham, dear. How dare you? Birmingham is just this grey mess. It's awful. Have you ever driven to Birmingham? You come round this road, and you go, well, Birmingham must be here somewhere. And eventually you come round this corner, and there it is. This great big grey mass in the middle of the countryside. It's awful. We have viewers in Birmingham. They've got nothing else to do there. I mean, look at the spectacular opulence of the United Kingdom Talk television studios, or out their window a grey wall. Awful. Hello to Gary Davidson. Jeffrey Decker is all the way over the water there in America. Good morning, Jeffrey. You're up nice and early this morning, aren't you? It's about 5 o'clock in the morning there, something like that. Hello, Jeffrey. The name of the films again, I don't know which one you're referring to, but the 3 films, Eddie, E-D-I-E, or it might be called Edie, okay, Lion, and Hurricane, and they are all films available at the moment on that excellent service Netflix, okay? Michael Lawrence, good morning, young Michael, over there in North London. Hope you've had a nice week there. Katie's watched the film. It is a great film, says Katie there. Good morning to Robin, who's in Paris. Bonsoir, bonjour, comment ça va, mon ami? I do a little bit of French. Ouvrez le fenêtre. Oh, yes, dear. We do all the languages. Morning to Ben Parker, Kevin Guthrie. There we are. I knew I'd seen him. Kevin Guthrie was also in Dunkirk. Fantastic Beasts. Sorry, it was him. I did wonder if it was him. Yes, I've pictured the face now. I've got it, yeah. Fantastic Beasts 1 and 2, Sunshine on Leaf, as well as several TV shows. I knew I'd seen him before. Dunkirk, that's a great film. I don't know if you've seen that. Not sure. I don't think that's on Netflix yet. That's the one with the boy from from One Direction, Harry Styles, who's actually, he doesn't have many lines in it, but he's a very good actor. I thought he was an excellent actor, Harry Styles. And the film Dunkirk. If you've not seen that, another excellent wartime type film for you to watch. The music is remarkable. Absolutely remarkable in that film. It will have you on the edge of your seat. I don't know how they did that. It's very, very clever. Morning to Maureen. Just texting in this morning. Good morning, you lovely lady. Maureen is in the house. Are you popping down for a sing-song tonight, Maureen? Sing a song. Sing out loud. Sing out strong. Yes. Morning to Michael Pullman over there in Australia as well. Over on the YouTube this morning. Who's there today? Let's have a quick look there. JP is in the house. Good morning, JP. He says it's just in time for a nice chicken curry. Is that what you've got tonight? Chicken curry? Oh, those poor little... Can't you have a vegetable curry or something like that, John? Please. Hello to Joanna. John, poor old Martin and my sister have the flu. That's right. Yeah, well, no, it's not the flu. It's a bad cold. They always say it's worse than what it is. Now, have you noticed anything about me today? No? Am I even better looking than I was yesterday? No, the throat. It's almost gone. I can swallow now. And there's just a little minor feeling there that makes it feel not quite normal, but that's gone right down, that has, because it was painful to swallow this week. Not eating, strangely enough, just like saliva. You know, if I'm going like that, when, you know, sometimes you do that. Not with eating, didn't bother me at all eating. Just you know, when you're doing it sort of naturally. But that seems to have almost cleared up now. Also, my voice has gone back up again to its normal dulcet tones. Oh, yes. I shan't be doing the tenor this week at church in the choir. Hello to Weird City Citizen. Good morning. Simon Gilman, where have you been, dear? Where have you been? Yes, we saw that story earlier, Simon, that poor footballer chap, only young, wasn't he? They found the body now in the plane, which is incredibly sad. But on the other hand, you know, for the parents, you need to find the body. You know, I always think that when someone goes missing, like the little girl with a slightly different eye, Madeleine McCann. You know, it would be better, I think, from the parents' point of view, to find. This sounds awful, but you'll see where I'm coming from. It will be better for them to find her, alive or dead, rather than never find her, because you just don't know, do you? There's no closure. Awful, really. Good morning to Dominic Hesler. Morning, Dominic. Let's have a look there. Just scrolling through there. I see you talking to each other, which is great. Dominic says it's a record. I've been up 5 twice to watch your show. 5 in the morning, Dominic gets up. Can't believe it. I'm a breakfast show. A breakfast show, JP says, as my head got bigger. No, you've probably got the magnification thing because you're so old, dear. You can't see through those eyes of yours. Have you got the magnification on your computer or something, John? Or on your mobile phone? Turn it off, dear, and I will revert to my original size, you know, of just 10 stone. Kathy, I watched a film on Amazon that was good, but can't watch the second as it's only been seen in the USA. I don't have Amazon Prime. I don't actually have Amazon Prime at the moment, although with the amount of stuff I get off Amazon, I might as well have it. I'm sure it'd save me a fortune in postage when you think about it. Oh, talking of Amazon and buying things, remember I said to you I was looking for a shed. I think I need a shed, and the reason is my bottles of gas up at the caravan, I'm not there for 2 months, but my bottles of gas at the caravan, when it gets really cold, like 0 degrees or low, the gas stops. It stops flowing, and I have to literally go out there with a hot thing of water, kettle of water, and pour it over the gas bottle. And then it starts. Seriously, that is what I have to do. And it's no fun at 8 o'clock in the morning when you put the gas won't come on. Yeah, although I've got a mobile gas heater in there as well. That works fine because that's inside. So I need to get, and the 2 gas bottles are literally propped up against the side of the caravan, you see. So I need some sort of shed to go around it. I have tried putting a bucket and a sort of the little, what's that plastics, the bubble wrap on the top of the regulator, which is on top there. But someone told me it's the bottom of it that you have to keep warm as well, or at least to stop not warm it up, but to stop freezing, because that's where the gas is coming from, the bottom of it, which kind of makes sense to me because that bottle must be almost empty now, I would guess. So it's got to be coming from the bottom, isn't it? So I need to get some sort of shed or cupboard. Now, for some reason, I gather we're not supposed to have wooden sheds on there. Whether that's a fire risk, I don't know. So we've got to get a plastic shed. I've been looking around, like 400 quid for a bloody plastic shed, honestly. And it was in Sainsbury's home base yesterday. And I'm just having a look around, and there was one there, £233, which is still probably more than I want to pay for it, to be honest. A plastic shed, maybe £100. No, the size I would need for these bottles would be, well, I mean, I could get a slightly bigger one, sort of 4x3. That would do it, and give me a bit of storage space as well outside, because I'm struggling. I'm starting to move more and more stuff into that caravan, to be honest, and I'm a little bit struggling for space in there, you know. So I think possibly I'll have another look on the Amazon. I've seen them on Amazon now for £199. That's even a little. I mean, once you go below that 200 mark, it's only £1, but in your head, oh, that's much better bargain, isn't it, or something like that. But we'll see how we get on with that one. Kathy, the Blackwell Ghost 2. If anyone knows how I can see it, anyone knows how Kathy? Well, you're in the States, aren't you, Kathy? Kathy is a big Barry Manilow fan, massive Barry Manilow fan. The Blackwell Ghost 2, that's what she wants to see, and she hasn't been able to see it, unfortunately, yet. Anyone else know how to do that? Good morning to Claire. Morning, Claire. Are you along tonight? Are you feeling better now, Claire? My throat has almost completely recovered, I'm pleased to say. Very, very happy about that. Now, what did I just tell you? I went to home base last night. I went to Sainsbury's. It's not Sainsbury's, is it? I went to home base yesterday, and I went for a particular reason. The beautiful orchids that people often buy me I've got a house full of orchids, absolutely full of them. Now I've moved the one that Ray Reynolds bought me the other day simply because it's blue, and that's blue, and you couldn't see it, but I'll bring it over. Look. Okay, here's the one that Ray bought me. Isn't that lovely? That's good. See, if I put it here, it kind of takes over, doesn't it? I mean, I don't want you to start looking at the plant instead of me. I mean, and plus, I could easily knock that over, so I'm not going to. Will it? Perhaps it'll go this side. Will it? Go that side like that. Does that work for you? No, I can't put it there because I might knock it over, and I'd be ever so upset if I damaged that. But isn't that beautiful? I love orchids. There's another one over there. Just a minute now. Bring that one over there. Now, this, there we are, another one here. This one is over at the window, and it stays on the window. Now, this is a couple of years old, I think. Oh, it's got a label on it. What's that? Oh, it doesn't say anything on there. This one is a couple of years old, and it's reflowered at the moment. I just discovered recently, these are roots. These are kind of air roots. And somehow they take nutrients out the air. Did you know that? I looked it up. Yeah, they're air roots. You see, you're not supposed to cut those off. I think it'd probably be quite detrimental to the plant if you cut those off. So that's those two. And there, I've got actually three. Oh, I've just moved the blooming thing. Hang on a minute. 1 minute. Should never move things, should you? So I've got three there. I've got two behind me here. And this is why I went to home base. Unfortunately, when you buy orchids, they come in the tiniest plastic pot you could ever imagine. I mean, they're tiny, absolutely tiny, and of course the thing can't do anything. So yesterday I went out to Sainsbury's I went out to home base, and I bought some new pots and a bag of the special orchid sort of growing material, which appears to be bits of chopped up wood. It just seems to be lots of little bits of chopped up wood. So there we are. There we are, my new pots and my new field. So that's probably 4 times the size of the pot that the orchid originally came in. I think that cost me, I think I bought five and you're supposed to use clear pots for orchids. Again, that's another thing I've only just discovered. The trouble is when you buy orchids, they come in the most beautiful pots usually, you know, like coloured pots, like white pots or something like that. And of course, if they're supposed to be in plastic pots, the light can't get through, can it? So I've now taken them out of the beautiful, ornate, you know, solid pots and just leave them in the plastic pots on a little saucer down there, and we'll see how well they do. Those two are actually from Maureen. One, Maureen, I think, bought me possibly at Christmas time. That's that one, which is doing extraordinarily well. Hasn't lost its flowers yet at all. And that one there is also from Maureen, who watches us. She's with us this morning, actually, and she bought me that for my birthday. I do love them. I absolutely love them, those. All right. Claire says the blue plant is lovely. Keep it beside you, or the pink one. They look lovely, especially with the jacket. Trouble with the blue one, Claire, as I say, I had it up there. You couldn't really see it because it's the same colour as the background, although the summer background is, you'd be able to see it. I've already got the summer background here. Would you like to see? No, I'll save that. Oh, you'll love the summer. It's camp. You'll love the summer background that I've bought. Katie loves orchids as well, don't you, Katie? Did you have a nice birthday, Michael Lawrence? Well, it would have been better if you'd took me out for the night, Michael, to be honest, but you didn't, did you? No offer came. Never mind. Thank you to Ben. Lagged gas bottle covers. That could be a good idea as well, Ben. I'll have a look at those. Thank you very much. They're great. They're the big bottles, you know, the great big long orange propane. They're not butane. I've got a butane one in the caravan. I've got a little mobile gas heater in the caravan, a couple of carbon monoxide alarms because they can be a little bit funny, those. So you've got to be very careful with those. But the orange propane ones are the ones that are outside the caravan. I'll have a look at those. Thanks very much, Ben. Okay, I'll just copy that for later. Then I can actually, now what I'll do is I'll copy that now. Open that like that. And there we are. Thank you, Ben. I've got that. Oh, that looks good. That looks good. As I say, what has been happening is that I just thought it was the regulator that was giving us the problem. But, I mean, that's I've got all sorts of covers and like bubble wrap and a bucket over the top, so it must be keeping the frost off there. When it's frozen, I remove it to see, and there's no, like, liquid underneath it or ice on top of it, so I don't think it is that. So I'm sure that bloke is absolutely right, so thank you very much for that one, Ben. Let's have a look here. Oh, we're getting stories here. You need to update your iPhones. Update your iPhones, boys and girls. It says in the Daily Mail, Apple have released another update for the iPhone, iPad, and iPod Touch, all these things, because people can listen in to your FaceTime messages. Oh, yes. It says here, the update includes a long-awaited and important fix for a serious bug in Apple's group FaceTime software that allows users to eavesdrop on the audio of a person they were calling before the person even picks up the phone. Oh, can you just, you know what you're like when you're waiting for someone on the phone? Aren't you like this, aren't you? Oh, come on, for Christ's sake, answer the phone. I mean, what can you be doing now, you lazy git? Come on. Oh, hello, how are you? Yeah, I'm all right, yeah, thanks ever so much. It's like, what do you mean you heard me? You heard me what? That's how it'd be like. Oh, dear. Well, the bug was first discovered last week by a teenager, and Apple said that a patch was on its way. However, it wouldn't be ready till several days later. Well, it is now. So you can best to update all your Apple software and bits and pieces like that. I actually just tried to do it before the show, but then come back the message saying you need at least 50% battery power to be able to do that. It says in the story, in a description of the update, Apple notes that the flaw was discovered by a 14-year-old. Thompson, who is the name of the person, along with his mother, Michelle, tried to report the bug to Apple, but they struggled to get the company's attention until the problem gained traction on social media. Yes, and this is the problem with social media and technology companies. You can't talk to anyone. How many of you now have been, and I quote, in Facebook jail? Has that happened to any of you? Yeah? And all you get is a little message saying your post goes against our community guidelines. I had one of those. I've had one of those and I got banned for 24 hours. But you can't go to them and explain, well, just a minute, you're wrong here. This is what I'm saying. You can't do that. And I have a real bugbear with this. There's no one to talk to. You might send them a message or something like that. You might even get an automated reply. Absolutely shocking. You can't talk to them. Would you like to know what I was Facebook jailed for? Would you like to know? Okay. So someone put a post of they've been trying to make a curry, okay, and failed. And I've tried to make a curry 3 times before in the slow cooker, and I too have failed because it smelt awful. And I put in this post that it smells nothing like the beautiful smells that come out of an Indian restaurant. They clearly know what they are doing. Maybe I should go in there, get a couple of boys to come round and show me how to cook one properly. That was my post. And it was classed as hate speech. That was classed as hate speech. Have you ever heard so much crap in all your life? But someone else has decided that you, and that's just so wrong. There's no one to talk to. I don't think a lot of people would. I wouldn't be on Facebook if I didn't do these videos and advertise my karaoke nights. I have no other reason to be on here. I really haven't. The rows that are going on. I've seen much worse things than that before. And this is a similar thing as well here. They take notice of one person who complains rather than the whole thing, you see. Now, in the Daily Mirror this morning, the official retailer of Scotland's football strip has agreed to calls by the National Football Association to remove a sexist and semi-porn image from its website. Now, here we go. The demand followed a dad's complaint about JD Sport's photo in which a female model posed provocatively in ripped jeans to sell the shirt's female version. Fan Simon Kemp is taking his son and daughter to the Scotland v England Women's World Cup tie in France this June and went online to buy the tops. He asked, why has the official seller JD Sports presented boys and men's and athletes, yet the female model is more traditional? And there is a picture of a very beautiful young lady. She's got the football top on and she's got ripped jeans on and she's sitting on the stool, legs fairly wide apart. Now, who has decided that that's not allowed when we have Cheryl Cole on the television on a Saturday night dancing and thrusting her hips forwards and backwards? What is the difference, please? Someone explain that to me. I see no difference here. This picture is nowhere near as provocative as Cheryl Cole dancing on the telly on a Saturday night, or Rihanna, or someone like that. I failed to see the difference. So I don't know who makes these damn decisions when one person complains. Or a small amount of people go, oh no, get that off. What about all those girls who lost their jobs at the darts? You know, they used to walk around with, what were they called now? I can't remember. They used to walk around looking, this job would only be available to pretty, gorgeous girls. Right? Someone complained, it's really sexist, they all lost their jobs. They were on very good money. No, not darts. Yeah, it was darts. It was darts, but I'm thinking the one before that, the going around the racing cars and all that business. You know, holding up placards and that. Really good money for very little work and all the attention that they get. Come on! Who doesn't like a bit of attention? Why do you think I'm sitting here doing this? Let's not lie about it. Why? Someone has lost all these girls. No one dragged them kicking and screaming into a racetrack. You get on there. No, they wanted to do that job. What right has anyone else got to tell them that they're not allowed to do that job because I don't like it? How dare you? But no, all these papers and companies, they pander to the tiny minorities now, and it's really starting to get my goat. It is. Let's just have a look at some of your messages there. Let's have a look. Katie says we can see the trees outside blowing in the wind. Oh, is that on? Let's have a look on the camera. Well, yes, you can, can't you? There's my trees outside. It's all mine. Isn't it pretty? Look, I'll move that around a bit. Look, can you see a little bit more there? That's what I said. That's outside my window, yeah? It's and there's the blue orchid as well. Or maybe I'll leave that camera there. I'll get a little bit like that. Looks quite good. Do you like my blue orchid? I love my blue orchid. Beautiful. Dominique is always in Facebook jail for sharing videos. Is that right? Good morning to Peter Lake in Woodall Spa, who says it's not nice today. It's windy and cold. I like your jacket and shirt, by the way. I like the one you got on yesterday. Can you do a live telephone today from Peter? Actually, Peter, yes. I wanted to test out my phone because I believe they've put the setting back on there that says you don't have to have the sounds coming through. So I will open the phone line. Just a second. Give that a second to fire up. And we're on. Okay, so if anyone wants to call in, you can call in now. Remember, there's only one line there. So if anyone does call in, if you call after them and I'm chatting to someone, no one will answer. You have to wait till that person has gone, okay? So it's 020 8144 3477. It's a local London number, okay? 020 8144 3477. Call in for whatever you want. If you're a little bit nervous this morning, think, I want to call in, but I don't know what about. That I'll lead you. But don't be worried that you're going to sort of come on and not know what to say. I will lead you, okay? So give it a call. If anyone's around, feel free. 020 8144 3477. To be quite honest, I want to see if it rings anyway, you know? I want to see if the sound doesn't ring anymore. It should now just flash up on my screen, hopefully. All right? Ray Reynolds. Eon had a fault for over 12 hours yesterday and your passwords wouldn't match without a reset. No one to talk to or explanation, but it's working now. Eon, is that a power company, Ray? Does electric and gas? I think it might be. Might be. Joshua says, it's pretty bad you're the only thing to watch on a Friday night. There must be. Where are you, Josh? You in Australia? It's night time there, isn't it? Or Singapore or somewhere like that. There must be something else on the telly better than me. Dirazak is back in the house. Good morning to you, sir. Long time no see. I hope you're well there. All right. And Mike Contini says it's blowing a wee gale outside. It's blowing in the wind. As indeed it is, yes. Thank you very much, sir. We got a message here from the show yesterday, actually, from Coco Bungie. Good morning to you, Coco Bungie, who writes... Oh, lost it. Disappeared. Who writes, thanks again for a lovely show yesterday. When can we see your mate Ronnie? It would be rather good to see a good-looking fella on your show occasionally. I beg your pardon? Am I not good-looking enough for you then? How rude. Rude. I might have to block you for that comment. I can block. No problem at all. You want to see my block list? It's enormous. All these people who have upset me in the past. I've got no time for people who are rude. No time at all. He says it would be good to see a good-looking fellow on your show occasionally. Proper eye candy. We want Ronnie. We want Ronnie. Send him a little message and I'm sure he'll pop round to the house or something like that. Would be quite nice for you. Morning to Martin Edwards. Welcome along to the show, Martin. Let me just scroll back a little bit there. I want to look at those gas bottle covers, really. I want to go now and look at the gas bottle covers for some reason. I'll probably order a couple immediately. One of the other things that I have a problem on I don't know about you, but on both my iPhone and iPad. Now, you know that the thumb recognising thing, so you bring it up like that. And then you tap your finger on it. And that's all I get all the time. Try again, you see. Doesn't work. So I'll reset that on here and the iPad. They both do the same thing. It'll work for about a few hours or a day and then it stops again. And I have to reset the thing. Anyone else have a problem with that? Is it my thumbs? Could it be my thumbs? Maybe my thumbs are just falling apart before our very eyes. Very worrying. 0208 144 3477 if you want to give us a call this morning. Now, still on the subject of iPhones and things like that, this bloke's been electrocuted. He's dead. Be very, very careful. And on all the television programmes, like consumer affairs programmes, that sort of thing, they always tell you, don't buy a cheap charger. Only buy the Apple charger. If you're using an Apple phone or the Samsung one or the Sony one, don't buy the cheap one from the market which costs you £2 because you could die. That's what's happened to this bloke here. In the Daily Mirror this morning, a factory worker has been found dead after being electrocuted while charging his phone and using the earphones at the same time. This bloke, 24, had laid down on his mattress with his Samsung plugged into an extension power point with a cheap charging cable. He reportedly appeared to have been listening to music or talking to someone with the mic section of the earphone resting on his lips. The property owner visited the room the next morning on Sunday and found this bloke, Krit Sadai, K-R-I-T, Krit Sada's lifeless body on the mattress with signs of burning around his ears. What a way to go. Oh, Lord. Police in Thailand arrived and carried the dead body from the property before sending it off for a post-mortem examination. And they say they believe he was fatally electrocuted while using the earphones and charging his smartphone at the same time. So that's terrible, isn't it? Do not ever buy cheap electrical items. It's just not worth it. Even on eBay. You know, often people are selling stuff on eBay, electrical items, gas as well. Now, I wouldn't buy like that mobile gas heater that I bought. Now, my brother-in-law, he's got one, a second-hand one, which is perfectly all right. It works well and all that. But I personally wouldn't buy a second-hand gas appliance. I really wouldn't. And besides, I went on eBay and I got one. I think it was about £59 or something like that, wasn't it? Not bad at all. Kieran says, is your block list as long as my ex list? I'm sure it is, Kieran. Kieran, I dread to think how long that is, my love. Perhaps we should compare our lists and see if the names come up on both of them. Terrible. Is no one going to call in? How disappointing. There's me wanting to test the phone and no one wants to call in this morning. 0208 144 3477. Now, we're talking about those consumer programs, as I say, and they're always telling you not to buy cheap stuff like that. Well, one of our very own consumer program hosts, and he's very popular, Martin Lewis. Martin Lewis, he used to have columns in a couple of the newspapers. I think the Daily Mirror, it was the Daily Mirror, or the Sun, one of those two. And he would tell you how to save money. Whether it was ordering a voucher from somewhere, or comparing gas and electricity, or broadband prices, money off with this, a sale coming up here, especially at Christmas time. He does this show on ITV at Christmas time and tells you where all the offers and sales are going to start. Well, he's not well. In The Sun this morning, Martin Lewis has been left in tears with an agonising throat ulcer that's making it impossible for him to continue his live television work. The money-saving expert says he's been shaking with nerves at the thought of leaving the house to film links for the Martin Lewis Money Show because speaking leaves him in unbearable pain. Now, I bet you've had an ulcer before, haven't you? Where was it? Was it annoyingly there? So every time you move your mouth to speak or something, it rubs against your tooth. I mean, I've had them right at the back, at the top of the throat, caused by an item of sharp food, perhaps a chip with a sharp edge. You know, when you make your own chips, you don't tend to get these at the chip shop. But when you make your own chips, maybe I don't peel mine, you see. I cut them up and put them in the oven. And they can be left with a little bit sharp on the... In fact, it goes into the top of your roof of your mouth and makes a little dent. And you get an ulcer from that. Oh no! Oh, what a shame. That noise is there. Good morning. Who's calling in? Line 17.
It's John McGinley. Hello.
Good morning, John. I'm pleased to hear your voice. Pleased to hear your voice, but disappointed that it rang because it's not. I thought that they put another setting on there. Huh?
Why?
Well, I thought they'd put another setting on there that said that you could turn off the ringing, so I would be able to see it.
Have you blocked me? That's what I want to know. Have you blocked me?
Have I blocked you? Well, you're obviously ringing in because you're watching the show, and you're also ringing in on the Skype. So I'm going to let you guess whether or not I've blocked you. What do you think, John?
Oh, wow, God. Wow. Oh, dear.
Well?
I would...
Are you still drunk from last night, dear?
Certainly not. God, no.
Well, it sounds...
Christopher, I've been teetotal for an entire month.
A whole month? Congratulations, dear. And is there a reason for that, John, that you're not drinking at the moment? Have you been upsetting people, dear?
Oh, Christopher, yes, certainly. I have been upsetting everybody and everyone around me. It is quite... Do you know what, Chris, right? I feel very discombobulated.
Oh, that's a good word. Go on, why? What's up then? What's up?
Oh, well, you know me. I go out, I get drunk and, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, a little bit now and again, yeah, but that's not too much trouble, is it?
Oh, quite right. But here, Chris, I do miss our Sherry.
You miss?
Sherry.
Sherry?
Oh, Christopher. You know Sherry from Benidorm.
Oh, yeah, she's great, she is. So you've met her, haven't you? I arranged for you to meet her.
I know.
Yes.
I was so happy.
Yes. See, I was told that she was coming into one of the pubs. And John was sitting in a seat. And I said to John, he was down at one of the karaoke nights, I said, do you like Benidorm? He said, yeah, I love it. I said, do you like Sherry Houston? And he said, yeah, why?
And I was like,
and I said, you had no idea. I said, okay, sit there and don't move. Whatever you do, do not move from that seat. And then she came in about half hour later and sat next to him. I'm hoping the same thing's going to happen with me and Barry Manilow at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, dear. Here, how was your birthday?
Our birthday was fine, thank you. Went to afternoon tea at the Mandarin Oriental, which was really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was lovely. Really, really nice there.
Oh, I love it. And you went with, what's his face? I forgot his name.
Oh, my mate Ron, yeah, he took us there. He paid. So I did have the glass of very expensive champagne as well.
Oh, how lovely.
Yes. Are you working today?
I'm actually off today, and I'm off tomorrow, thank Christ.
What is it you do, John?
Well, I do a very important job. I work for the Terence Higgins Trust.
Oh, right, yes.
Do you not remember? No, you
yes.
Don't. Yes. But anyway, so, and you are looking absolutely fabulous.
John, I know.
Oh, do you know? Oh, dear. And how's the caravan?
Are you coming along for a sing-song tonight?
Certainly not.
Oh, how disappointing. Millions of people would have been waiting to see you, dear.
Oh, really? God. Do you know what? I couldn't think of anything worse than going to karaoke and King's Cross.
Oh, how rude. You're very rude, dear, sometimes. Very rude.
I know. Anyway, goodbye.
You have a nice day. Thanks for trying that phone out for us, John. Bye-bye now. There we are, John calling in there. It does still ring, unfortunately. Oh, that's a shame. I thought I'd found a setting there to turn the ringing off. Very annoying, but never mind. It's done there. We were talking about this Martin Lewis with he's got an ulcer in his somewhere in his back of his throat there. He said he opened out about his ill health to fans after he was forced to cancel an appearance on Good Morning Britain. He said, thanks for all the well wishes. I wanted to give you an honest update. I'm no better. It's just awful having an ulcer. Can you just imagine having it at the bottom, right at the back of your throat, so it's affecting the way you speak? Awful. As I say, I've had them right the back of the roof of my mouth. And they sometimes come up as a big red blister. And what was doing it was my brown asthma thing. Okay? I've got a blue one and a brown one. Admittedly, I don't use the brown one anymore. Okay, but that's like a steroid spray. And you're supposed to put this little... Have I got one here? No. The little thing goes there. And then you've got this like big plastic thing, which is a spacer. It's like a big bottle. Okay? And then the other bit in your mouth. And you spray and breathe at the same time in. Like that. Like, okay? Now, I didn't use the spacer. I was just putting a little blue... I can't be bothered with that spacer, you know. I just put in this little brown thing directly into my mouth like that. And breathing in. And that, I discovered, was weakening my the lining in my mouth. Which I discovered that completely accident by looking it up on the internet. And my doctor, I go and see a doctor at the Royal Free twice a year. And he also said, do you use an inhaler? And I'm like, yes. He said, it might be that. And it was. I started using the spacer thing and it stopped doing it. Now I can eat generally and nothing happens. But if you don't use that spacer, it can weaken the lining inside your mouth, which is sort of regenerating all the time. And when you get like an ulcer or a blood blister, like at the back of the throat, it's horrible. It feels like there's something stuck there. And of course there isn't. Now generally this thing goes down within a few hours, or if you go to bed, you wake up again, it's gone. It's gone right down. It fixes itself as quickly as that. But it's horrible. And I did go to hospital once. That was not last Christmas, the Christmas before. And I was coming back. We were just been out for our Christmas shopping, me and my mate to Hamleys. And we'd had something to eat. And I'm having this sandwich as we're walking along. And then suddenly I realised I was having trouble swallowing. Anyway, I ended up going to the casualty and they looked, oh, you've got a big blood blister at the back of your throat. Have you eaten something sharp? And I said, well, I have. He said, well, that's all it is. He said, that will be fine fairly quickly. Not a lot else we can do about it. So that was it. And indeed, the next day it had gone. But yes, my heart goes out to poor old Martin Lewis. That's awful, isn't it? Having an ulcer in the back of your throat like that. Thank you. John likes the jacket. Thank you, John. That was just John on the phone there. Ray Reynolds. Hello, Blue Orchid. Hello, Blue Orchid. This is the Pansy Man from Woodford. Are you receiving me? Yep, it says yes. All right, Ray. Alan Russell is in the house. Good morning to Alan Russell there. I'm not reading that out now. Paul and Lou, you're very late this morning. I'm nearly finished. Nearly finished. It's outrageous. Alan uses Tesco jacket potatoes to make his own chips. They are actually really nice. Tesco's, oven. What are they called? Baked potatoes. Baking potatoes. Baking potatoes do seem to be the best ones you can use for chips. Although I have, Michael says I love them, not cook them. I'll cook you some chips, Michael, if you want. Hello to Dr. SRS Gregorian, just joining us there. Good morning to you. What was I saying about chips? Yeah, the only thing is I do like, they're kind of oven chips. I make them myself. Bit of spray light, cut the chips up. I've realised, we all like big chips, don't we? Long chips. Actually, if you do them shorter, you get more on the plate. All right, there's a little tip for you there. On that metal oven sheet type thing that we do our oven chips on, cut them shorter and you'll get more on there. Even fatter and fatter, and pour baked beans all the way over the top of them. Oh, absolutely delicious. I've got to be honest, I go to the tin shop in Lincolnshire and I bought a load of baked beans while I was there last time. I've only left them in the caravan, haven't I? Oh, I shouldn't have told you that. People will be up there at the moment trying to break in and steal my baked beans. And I've just got to the end of my baked beans here. I'm going to have to buy some from a shop. God's sake, man. My mate's going to Asda this morning, actually. He did say if I wanted to go up there with him, but a little bit short of cash. I've put a bit of cash in the bank, haven't I? So I've got no cash with me at the moment, not until I get some more dropped into the account later on. Alrighty, let's do today's birthdays, boys and girls. A big, how many have we got today? Let's have a look. Come on, disappear there. Is there just one birthday? Good God, one birthday. Isn't it funny? Sometimes I can have 15 birthdays to read out. Today, one. That's it. One birthday only. So, good morning to you. Paul and Lou said, can you start again? No, I can't. Corney. Is it Corney? Good morning, Corney. Love the look with the dark glasses and that. A very, very happy birthday on this Friday, the 8th of February 2019 to Corney. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Corney. Happy birthday to you. Kathy wants to know, what is the tin shop? Okay, Kathy, the tin shop is like this little porter cabin up in Lincolnshire. It's very close to my caravan. It's about 10 minutes drive away from my caravan. And I go up there, my sister goes up there, my nephew and my niece go up there. And what you get in there is out-of-date tins, or tins that are coming towards the end of their date, and packets of food dirt cheap. The tins of Branston baked beans in there are about 20 pence each. And the last time I was up there, I bought 3 of the catering packs of baked beans, £1.75 each. I mean, absolute bargain in that shop. And when things go out of date in tins, you see that I've seen stories in the newspaper of people that have found food in tins 20 years old, and they open it and they eat it, and it's perfectly good. There's nothing wrong with it at all. You see, so that is the tin shop in Lincolnshire. There's probably another couple of places across the country, I don't know, that have places like tin shops, but it's a dirt cheap place like that. That's exactly what it is. Okay. Oi, Joanna, what do you mean earplugs? Well, I'm singing my happy birthday. How rude. Well, I won't bother to sing to you then, Joanna. I don't even know when your birthday is. Are you on my Facebook, Joanna? Unless you're on the Facebook, I don't know it's your birthday, you see. That being said, if anyone ever wants birthdays sung for other people who are kind of not with us on the show, then you just let me know and I'll do that for you. Sort of preferably while the show is happening. You don't have to tell me in advance. Sometimes people tell me stuff in advance. Oh, could you do this on the show? Or could you do that on the show? And I forget. And they get really upset. Oh, but you said, listen, there's 1,001 things to remember while I'm sitting here doing stuff. And people are always very quick to point out, you haven't done this, or that's wrong, or this wrong. There literally are 1,001 things to do while you're sitting here doing that. So, please, if you want your birthday read out, or someone's birthday read out, and you know you're not going to come up on the Facebook list, just let me know, and I'll be happy to do that while the show is happening. Joanna has got the Facebook, so we must be on that there. All right. Good. Kathy says, brilliant, I'll give you a list when you go again. Doesn't quite work like that, Kathy. No, you literally go into the tin shop and it's what they've got that day. Do you see what I mean? Sometimes they can run out of stuff really quickly. Other stuff it can hang around. What was the other thing I bought in there? Custard. Packets of custard, Angel Delight, lots of vegetables and just stuff in tins mainly that's just about to go sort of out of date or is indeed out. I've got beans downstairs. Oh no, I finished them now. I had Branson chili baked beans. They were 6 months out of date. Nothing wrong with them. Absolutely nothing wrong with them in a tin. All right. Hello to Majid, who I like to predicate for me. I don't know what that is. I don't know what predicate is. That's a new one to me. Paul and Lou says, Lou's dad visited the tin shop after you sharing a link. He loves it, Chris. I'm going next time I'm up there. Yeah, you go and have a look. You can have a look up there. All right, that's it for the show today. Tonight, it's karaoke time, boys and girls. If you're around in the North London area, I'll be hosting karaoke at Central Station Bar, 37 Wharfdale Road, King's Cross in London. Starts at 8:30 and goes right the way through until midnight. We have some wonderful, wonderful people up there who you will enjoy meeting and hearing sing. You know, I mean, people like Maureen or Ray. You ever see them sitting at the table there? Just go over and talk to them. They're very, very happy to talk to all of you. And anyone else who has never been before. So there we are. Friday night karaoke this week and every week, 8:30 to midnight at Central Station Bar in Wharfdale Road, King's Cross. Going now. Time for a swim. And you have a lovely Friday. Thanks ever so much for watching and listening. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye-bye now.